can see you so much better today. That was extraordinary, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank my editor, Jordan Pavlin, Il Miglior Fabbro, for believing in me in this book from the second it landed in your inbox. Thank you to my steadfast agent, Jacqueline Coe, especially for your years of joyfully and passionately representing me when I was but a lowly poet. To the other writers recognized tonight, to the judges, the organizers, it has been a dream. Your company is the prize. Tommy, Angel, and Shira, Dan, Karen, group chat, thank you. The book and I are better made for having been loved by you. To my spouse, Paige Lewis, the past decade sprinting to keep up with your mind has made my own indelibly quicker, wiser, and more humane. Thank you, I love you. 13 years ago, I was still in active addiction, pissing the bed nightly, lurching from crisis to crisis, passing out every night, hoping not to wake up. It is absurd to be standing here tonight. Literally absurd. It strains credulity. It is absurd to be here, too, in this extraordinarily beautiful, warm space, as a third winter falls across a besieged Gaza. Such is the ineffable at-onceness of these moments. It is absurd that people who look and pray like me and my cousins and uncles with hearts that could fit in my chest will die today from bombs forged and dropped by my tax dollars. Absurd that weeks after announcing a purported ceasefire, just today, as of my writing this at 2:56 p.m. Eastern, November 9th, 2025, Israel has bombed the Bureij refugee camp, killing 3 people, and has carried out a sequence of drone strikes in Lebanon with casualties yet unreported. Israel is, as of today, November 9th, 2025, still only allowing 1/3 of the agreed upon humanitarian aid into Gaza. From the vantage point of a Palestinian parent's mortal terror, my moral outrage, my insulted sense of human dignity looks profoundly comfortable. It is incumbent upon me, and yes, I do think us, to leverage that delta between our outrage and their terror into action. I spoke about this a bit yesterday in the panel, but it is central to my belief in fiction's role towards revolutionary action. Empire uses the abstraction of data, a fire hose of meaningless language, to cudgel us into idleness and cynicism. Literature opposes this, asks us to slow down our metabolization of language, become aware of its bond and density. My novel Martyr attempts to show how a single life erased from time, one of 290 civilians killed by the US Navy on July 3rd, 1988, on board Iran Flight 655, ripples through the lives of its characters for decades. Every conversation Cyrus has, every person he sleeps with, every drug he does and doesn't do stems from a single woman being shot out of the sky in 1988. I have 2 nieces. The older, Nora, does math worksheets for fun. She already reads faster than me and possibly with greater comprehension. The younger, Layla, writes and mails lengthy letters to my dog. Not to me or to my spouse, but to my 45-pound blue heeler, Galilee. She fixes stamps on the envelopes, drops them in a blue postbox by her school. The way I love my nieces, the way I recognize them as utterly unprecedented and irreplaceable, is how every Palestinian feels about the kids in their lives. It is excruciating to have to say right now, this second, people who look and pray like me Love our children the exact same way you love yours. There is no such thing as a bad child. There is no serious ethical or political system that can justify the murder and starvation of children. The official civilian death toll in Gaza now tops 69,000. When I say 69,000 civilians killed in Gaza, I'm aware I have uttered a pulverizing reality, but it lacks definition. My brainstem just recognizes a large number, bigger than 5, fewer than 1 million. I cannot distinguish somatically between 69,000 and 68 or 70. This is not, I don't think, a moral failure, but it is a moral crisis. I believe writers, in concert with organizers and teachers and plumbers and grant writers and legal advocates and everyone else, have this role to play in peace work. By restoring specific narrative to abstract historical data, we restore for readers the urgent, somatic obliteration of individual loss. Tony Cade Bambara says the job of the artist is to make revolution irresistible. If you recognize the interiority of the harmed as being as vivid and complex as your own, it becomes impossible to sit idly by amidst a live-streamed genocide. It is not complicated to say, I am on the side of whoever is not actively starving children, unless the contingency of those children's humanity is an unanswered question in your mind. I'm grateful for language today. The future I want to live in has books and writers celebrating those books. But far more urgently, the future I want to live in is one where hospitals aren't rubbled in the night, where refugee camps aren't bombed weeks into a purported ceasefire, where orphan children do not have to record videos of themselves weeping over their murdered parents to persuade the world of their humanity. The Iraqi poet Dunya Mikhail says, writing is not medicine, it's an X-ray. That is to say, the work we do as writers points to action, but does not supplant it. I'm a professor who makes more money than I need to feed and house myself. I will be donating the entirety of this prize money to Doctors Without Borders, and I invite everyone present with the means to contribute any amount as well. It takes 30 seconds. You can do it on your phones right now at doctorswithoutborders.org. Thank you again to the judges and to everyone who read Martyr. The gift of your time and attention is towering. I will work the rest of my life to make myself worthy of your regard.